Diddy is a deeply disturbed individual, and now one of his most high-profile alleged victims, Usher, has finally come forward to reveal what happened to him. This goes beyond disturbing.
Thought that Justin Bieber got by Diddy.
It's not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore. It is not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy no more.
Papa don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, 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 yeah.
Certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay. And I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
That's right. Diddy did something so horrific to Usher that it reportedly landed him in the hospital.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something. They may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executive.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, "Yo, I don't F with that dude." And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, "Yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. Man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that." You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened.
This story goes way back to when Usher was just 14 years old and full of promise. He had just signed with L.A. Reid's LaFace Records, the label known for launching some of the biggest names in music. As a key mentor in Usher's early career, Reid made a bold and controversial decision. He sent the young singer to New York City to live with Diddy, the self-proclaimed wildest party guy in hip-hop and a powerful figure in the industry.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even. I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. And now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
what the f did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this with me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid.
Listen. We're having a good time. Yo, Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
This wasn't just a move to a new city. It was a calculated effort to push Usher's boundaries and shape a more edgy, hip-hop-infused sound. As L.A. Reid explained, I wanted Usher to have more of this hip-hop-infused sound filled with bad boy swagger. I was turning him over to the wildest party guy in the country, at an age where I still needed to get his mother's permission. I didn't know whether I was being irresponsible or having an epiphany. Reid's words reflect a complex mix of risk and ambition, believing the experience would mold Usher both musically and personally. Usher, for his part, has alluded to witnessing some very strange things during his time with Diddy, though he often leaves the specifics vague.
Moved to New York City.
and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Despite the challenges, the experience ultimately paid off. Reid later remarked that Puffy did exactly what I wanted him to do for Usher, helping to cultivate a unique R&B sound. Diddy's influence played a significant role in shaping Usher's artistic identity, fueling his transformation from a talented teenager into a music superstar. But it raises a deeper question: at what cost? Did this mentorship come with ties to a larger trafficking conspiracy?
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there.
The official narrative holds that Usher introduced a 14-year-old Justin Bieber to L.A. Reid, a moment Reid recalls in his 2016 memoir. In it, he describes how Usher presented Bieber almost as a gift, referring to the young artist as beautiful, highlighting both the promise and the precocious packaging of the teen star.
I was flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. Rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one?" And he was like, "Let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out." So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
Justin Bieber rose to global fame at age 15 with his debut single One Time in 2009. He was first discovered at age 12 by talent manager Scooter Braun, who came across videos of Bieber covering songs by artists like Usher and Chris Brown on YouTube. Impressed by his talent, Braun introduced Bieber to Usher, who played a key role in launching the young singer's career. Usher brought Bieber to meet music executive L.A. Reid, who ultimately signed him to Island Records. Reid later recalled their first meeting in October 2008, when Usher called to say he had someone special to introduce. 4 p.m., Usher arrived at Reid's office with a charming 14-year-old Bieber. Reid described him as striking and charismatic, noting how Bieber made an immediate impression. This marked the beginning of Bieber's journey into stardom, supported by major industry figures who recognized his potential early on.
But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
When Justin Bieber arrived for his first meeting with L.A. Reid, he immediately sat down at the piano and began singing. He seamlessly picked up a guitar and performed effortlessly, almost like a seasoned nightclub act. Usher proudly introduced him, saying, "This is Justin Bieber." Reid was impressed, not just by Bieber's vocal talent, but by his natural ability to entertain. When Usher said Bieber had a gift, he wasn't exaggerating. Reid was so taken aback by Bieber's presence that he decided to sign him on the spot, although it took a few days to involve Bieber's parents since he was still a minor. Reid also noted that Bieber's iconic hairstyle, his hair almost covering his eyes, was as important to his image as his voice and songs. This distinctive look quickly became a signature part of his identity, and in his memoir, Reid continued to praise Bieber's charisma and star power. He described Bieber as beautiful, calling his face a superpower. But Reid emphasized that Bieber's appeal wasn't just about his looks. He had a magnetic personality that set him apart from others. While other artists had to carefully craft their personas, Bieber was naturally lovable and lively from the very beginning. Usher played a critical role in Bieber's rise, not just as a mentor, but as someone who considered him family. In 2016, Usher reflected on their relationship, saying that while their connection was professional, he felt a deep personal bond with Bieber, one that went beyond business.
Me plus you, I'ma tell you one time. I'ma tell you one time. I'ma tell you one time. One time when I met you, come on. Wow.
I ain't gonna stop you like that, but this is only a tease. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, Island Def Jam recording artist, Justin Bieber. It's getting ready to go down. Just so you know, we're in the studio right now working on it. Get ready because it's gonna be big. Ain't that right, Justin?
That's right.
That's right. So look out. We're coming.
Bieber quickly became involved with P. Diddy's inner circle, with Diddy also taking on a mentor role during those early years. However, unbeknownst to Diddy, it would be his involvement with both Usher and Bieber that would eventually lead to complications for him. Gene Deal, in a statement made years ago, claimed that Usher was aware of many of Diddy's secrets, and this knowledge could pose problems for him in the future.
Years ago, Cameron, he did an interview and he told a story about how he went to Diddy house with mates.
Yeah.
And he found the dildo in the sink.
I think that was crazy. I think that was out of, and then May said that was Puffs. I think he said May said that was Puffs, but Mace was in the bathroom with it. I don't know what that was all about, man, but that was real weird to me. That was crazy.
Crazy, man. But before we get off of that, right, I remember you told me a while ago that, you know, Mace, he used to live with Diddy, and he know a lot of stuff about Diddy that a lot of people don't know.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher then?
Usher used to stay with Diddy too when he was younger. And this was years ago. So the locks ain't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. This the kind of, man, listen here. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But I want to talk about this lawsuit by Guy, right? And I want to get your opinion on it. It's a part in this lawsuit where she alleges that she was at a dinner with Neo, Usher, and Jimmy Iovine. And Diddy, he punched Cassie in the stomach and no one did anything. How you feel about that?
They were part of the dinner and they watched Cassie get abused in front of, Puffy abused Cassie in front of them. And neither one of those men, and they probably security was around too, did nothing to stop what he had did to Cassie. Now that's just crazy right there, bro. That is just crazy. Usher probably got a daughter. Neo probably got kids, I don't know. Jimmy Iovine, you know, he take about 15, 20 scoops of sugar in his coffee. So, all those cats there, supposed to be men, watched that lady get abused right there in public, and they did nothing, brother. They did nothing. That goes to show you the power that he had mentally over them. Here go a woman witnesses, and this witnessing it, and said, they said nothing. Yo, man, stop, don't do that. Yo, not here, bro. Easy, nothing. Don't do nothing, say something. She said they didn't do anything and they didn't say nothing. That's the bad thing about it. If you're not gonna do nothing, open your damn mouth and say something. And that's a lot wrong with our people right now. They don't even want you to say nothing.
There is growing awareness surrounding P. Diddy's treatment of Justin Bieber, with the latter reportedly disgusted by the recent allegations against him. According to a source close to Bieber speaking to Us Weekly, the new father has been advised to distance himself from anything related to Diddy. However, it seems that staying away has not been difficult for Bieber. The source revealed that Justin wants nothing to do with the music mogul at this point. Another insider shared that Bieber is currently in a difficult mental space as he processes the serious accusations against Diddy. He has such a history with Diddy, and the allegations against him have been hard to process, the source said. The situation has also sparked questions about why Bieber's handlers allowed Diddy to mentor him when he was a child. Sources close to Bieber, speaking to the Daily Mail, stated that he should never have been allowed to party with Diddy or anyone else at such a young age.
Welcome to the family, John.
These sources claim that Justin Bieber was effectively thrown to the wolves by his mother, Patty Millette, and his largely absent father, Jeremy Bieber. They also point to Usher, whose label Bieber was signed to, as sharing some responsibility in this situation. One widely discussed incident occurred in November 2009, when a 15-year-old Bieber reportedly spent a notorious 48-hour period at P. Diddy's home.
16. Slow down. Let's slow down, Justin. Okay. Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. Get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
Another resurfaced video clip of Diddy and Bieber has sparked debate among fans, with some questioning whether Diddy was checking to see if Bieber was wearing a wire during their conversation. Another video shows Diddy asking Bieber why they no longer hang out.
Man, you good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything?
Yeah.
Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you tried to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct.
My
Okay.
number?
Yeah.
Tell you my number.
Yeah.
A third video captures Diddy jokingly warning Bieber not to reveal what happened during their time together.
Become friends in a strange way,
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Rob.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, you...
Diddy called his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Apparently not.
Some things, everything ain't fair.
Many have speculated that Diddy may have exploited Justin Bieber's vulnerability, not only by having him around, but potentially by exposing him to the darker sides of Hollywood. Given the disturbing history of sexual abuse allegations in the industry, some believe this theory is not entirely unfounded.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Just lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to?
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
You guys never gave me the sex talk. Okay. So why don't you give me the sex talk? I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird. Let's talk about